This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, the Baroness and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Media.
Hello. Welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Lady Summer Helene, and we are on with my co-host, Weird Punching
the baddest
Air
bear
guy.
in the cage.
You're just sitting there punching air.
Wait, you don't like my shadow boxing? You don't find what I do sexy like that?
You literally punched me last night. I don't want to hear it.
You know what? We had a live stream just for the radio show. We discussed some things that what happens with fighters after they do it for so many years when they sleep that they end up fighting in their sleep, in their dreams. And they came up with some really good ideas for you to help out with this situation. Well,
hit you in the junk.
What was that
you
one?
In the junk.
They specifically nut tap him was the best way to deal with that. I gotta tell you right now, I think that if you nut tap me in my sleep, I will just
fight back. Yeah,
I think I'll turn it up. But there's also that one.
No, you do. When I've tried to push you away, you actually do fight more. So I have to like half wake you and roll you, or tell you to turn to roll over.
I feel like there's that chance it just won't though. What if it works? And
okay. I'll try it tonight.
No, please don't do that.
I'm gonna try it tonight.
Don't do that. I'll wear a cup.
I'll tell you guys how it works.
I'll tell you how it works. No, I don't need that to happen. I need that to stay away. Provable Gaming, welcome to the live stream. I fight my sleep even though I'm not a fighter. Hey, maybe just a restless sleeper, dude. Who knows? Definitely worth talking to whoever you sleep with about it, actually. Probably.
I actually wanted to do the intro to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. And I was like, we're an 18 and over show.
Yeah, it's not of all ages. We don't have 6-year-olds watching this talking about nut tapping.
No, I would like to know if there's a 6-year-old watching this show. I want to speak with a deeply, deeply irresponsible parent.
I want to speak to your parents right now.
I want to speak with a deeply irresponsible parent. This is an
Speaking
18 and
of
over show.
deeply irresponsible.
Speaking of deeply irresponsible.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
There was a fighter in the last week, Bryce Mitchell, who came on and said that that Hitler was not a bad guy.
This is on YouTube, asshole.
And that he was only trying to remove the certain section of people from the country at the time because they were greedy.
Okay, on behalf of Jews everywhere, I'm only half. Yeah, I'm only half, but I will speak for Jews.
You're gonna talk about the bad mustache man.
Yeah. Fuck the bad mustache man, and I hope he has a pineapple shoved up his rectum every day in hell.
He might be. We don't know. We don't know what his hell looks like. What if that's his personal heaven? Pineapples in the rectum.
Tell me what movie that is from, and I will give you a free ride at Off-Road Rentals in Palm Springs, California. Shout out to Off-Roads. That's one of our sponsors. Also to Bellamy Hair Extensions. Thank you so much for my hair pieces. Yep. Tiny Bubbles Hair Salon. Tousled Maine. I always say that. It's actually my sister-in-law's company, and she does my hair. I love it.
But that's why we shout her out.
Well, I shout her out because she does my hair.
It's still nice of you.
Yeah. And of course, you want to give a shout out to our hotel?
Yes. Embassy Suites by Hilton in Phoenix, Arizona. I will never forget it. It is impossible for me to forget that.
We will be back there speaking at Phoenix Comic Con.
That sounds good to me. Provable Gaming, pineapples hurt, they're spiky. Yeah, but that's kind of the idea, homie.
So this dude that's all in favor of
he said that, and then on the same episode, or maybe episode 2 or whatever, because he did it on his podcast, he went into like oh man, there was another conspiracy. I think he went into the flat earth conspiracy as well. And you see why when he heard about the whole Schmittler thing, he went on to a press conference and he just for 10 minutes talked about how absolutely dumb this fighter is.
Okay.
10 minutes straight. He's just so unbelievably dumb.
Good for you, Dana White. I'm going to say this. Hold my tea.
He drilled a
We're going to do this.
Okay.
To the fighters out there, I understand you want to make a name for yourself. Pointing out the positives of genocide. That is not how you drink tea, but you're very cute. The positives of genocide. To bring up
your lipstick.
That's to bring up the positives of genocide,
right,
makes you an idiot.
Yes.
And there is no amount of CTE you can get that will excuse that.
Word.
And I promise you, people using this administration, and I'm not a fan of this administration. I wasn't a fan of the last administration. I think America's a failed country and should be returned to the Commonwealth.
White House.
Whatever. The point is, like, this is a very pro-Israel, pro-Jewish administration.
Yep.
You know, his daughter like married a Jewish guy. His kids, his grandkids are
his
Jewish.
family have decided first of all, they changed their names and they're like, no one's ever been named Adolf again. That that's
a whole different story.
I think his own family.
I was talking about the current administration in this country.
Oh, why are we on about that?
I was simply saying that the people that are super pro-Trump, Trump is super pro-Jerusalem, super pro-Israel.
Yeah, that's
so it's
true.
very weird to me that the anti-Semitism has come with it.
It's a very weird sect that kind of comes into the play because it's all the same people talk about conspiracy theories.
But you are right about Adolf Humperdinck's family. They actually decided never to have children.
Yes,
they wanted his line to die. Like that. Do you know how big an asshole in history you have to be
for your family,
for your entire family to be like,
no more kids. We did something
everyone
wrong.
Dies. Like the whole line dies out. Nobody gets children.
Provable Gaming. The tea was not good. I do not like Earl Grey tea, but she loves it. So
if you drink from the other side, there's no lipstick here. Try
let
it.
Me see
That'll
if
be
it's
better.
Okay.
You just got to not drink where I drink from the lipstick.
Still Earl Grey tea. I'm gonna give this back to you. But no, he was also going on about how Bryce was so dumb that he drilled into his nutsack with a drill and then had to reverse the bit to get it out.
What?
I don't know the context. I don't know if it was a dare or why he did it, but he did it. There's photo evidence of the boxers in question. Zzz, zzz. I don't know how else to describe that.
I don't want you. I don't want
talking
you.
about Conor McGregor, Bryce Mitchell.
I don't want you. One, don't bring up that guy's name again. Let's not give him airtime. He's a moron. Obviously, that's why he's doing those stunts. Two, he's now on the list of people. I don't want you. Well, he's now on the list of people I don't want you fighting because anyone that stupid doesn't know what they're doing.
I think Bryce is too. I don't think he fights my way. I think he's too light.
Then fight him. He could use with some CTE. Maybe it'd straighten things out.
That's fair.
Now, all joking aside, for those that are into MMA, CTE is a big deal. One of Bear's closest friends, he has like 3 friends in total, which is mostly you guys online. A doctor friend of his and who's married to his manager, and this guy Chu that he trains with.
I'm sorry,
and
that laugh
Joe
is not for what you're talking about at all. Our technician's being funny.
He's always funny. I love him. Tell him.
Our technician, for those who no one's able to read it, but only we can see it. He said that Mitchell could have just taken the bit out of the drill and pushed the rest through.
That is how stupid this guy is. But that's the thing. You're smart enough to know that.
Oh man, smart enough to know it's a joke.
What is it? And you're friends with Joe. Like you have a very limited number of friends. And your friend Chu is actually dealing with brain damage and CTE from MMA now, and has had to quit.
Well, he's stopping for now. He would like to get back into it, but he does have he went from a mild after some more testing. They come back and said it's a moderate TBI that could result in permanent brain damage. So he's getting a lot of tests done, but he's already having a lot of terrible symptoms. He's got newfound depression. He's got a cloudy brain. He can't focus on tasks. So it's definitely like, keeping tabs on, keeping check on him, of course, but it's a very real thing. Anyone can go through it, and it only takes one. You never know how your brain can react when getting hit. And at that, if you get hit and don't pick up on the signs, you could then go back and do more training and get more hits. Concussion after concussion is what leads to a traumatic brain injury.
We sent Barron for testing because we thought he had a brain injury. Turns out he's lost hearing in part of his ear, and that's why he was ignoring us. It was not brain injury, but the first thing we did was go, does he have brain damage? And we sent him in. Turns out he has tinnitus and he's deaf. But
tinnitus for sure. It's a very light form. I have light tinnitus. Thank you very much. I don't have full on
so
it's always ringing.
It wasn't brain damage while he was ignoring us. He couldn't hear us. But all joking aside, MMA is really hard on the body.
Oh yeah, of course it is. It's hard on any physical sports can be hard on the body, but now you add combat sports to that, where everything, not only are you doing damage to yourself, you're taking damage from somebody else. So it is very hard on the body. You know, it reminds me very much of like football. Football has very similar injuries to MMA for that matter, but they tend to get more concussions because instead of just a punch,
I forgot. I'm
the whole
supposed to
body
send
smashing into you.
someone to film Cash. Cassius Marsh, we're doing a TV show with him, fab guy.
Yeah,
Would
former
you
NFL player.
text Alexis and see if Cassius needs the filmer, the shooter? That means video filming. Do not flag me. I mean it, YouTube.
Well, it's video filming. Why would that get you flagged?
It was the other word. It was,
oh, okay, shooting. Got it. Oh, we can't say that. Are we trying not to say that?
Are you stupid?
Trying to be PG.
Now we're back to CTE.
Now we're back to stupid MMA fighters. No, I just found it really funny that he was on about him for 10 minutes for being such a fool. And then he's gone on further. He's done other debates, but I think it's funny that MMA attracts a lot of people who kind of really buy into either hate or conspiracy. And
it has to do with the demographic. So boxing did as well. When you don't come from the best place or you don't come from the best area, you don't have a lot of options to get out. Part of the reason, we're working in Nigeria, we're working with the King of Nigeria, shout out. Bear's going to be fighting Sensei Seth there. It's a whole thing. We're looking at Joe. It looks like, we're talking to Cowboy Cerrone. We're talking to Bisping to do a rematch with Henderson. Like, it's a whole thing. But the big event there is this last man standing kind of combat where it's done in brackets and the last guy there does, kind of wins. And so we have exhibitions. Bear will be an exhibition. Joe and Cowboy and Hendo and Bisping. We were looking at Tyson. We're not sure what's going on there, but essentially it's a huge thing. But the reason they like MMA there is it doesn't take a lot of gear. It's not like footy. It's not like a lot of these sports where you have to have.
No, you just have shorts and you have little gloves. That's it. You don't need much else.
Not always little gloves. Oh, and Diego Sanchez. And Diego Sanchez is going to be in. Shout out to Diego Sanchez. He's a friend of the show. We've had him on before.
Yes.
And his douchebag of an ex-manager, I hope, gets hit by a bus.
Yeah. I think he's far away from Joshua Fabia now, thankfully.
I still think you should fight Joshua Fabia.
He will never fight. He won't fight anybody.
We really tried. We really tried.
To make that happen. He'll never go for it.
I was like, okay, you said you were tougher than Diego. Come fight Bear. It's fine.
Man, that'd be really easy. I would make it very fun. No, I'm very easy to fight. Don't worry about it.
Are you lying to try and get him to fight you?
Yes. That'd be fantastic.
Yes, you will win, Mr. Fabia. No, I like Fabio. It's Fabia I don't like.
Yes.
Fabio's hot. He's been on every romance
How
novel.
old is he at this point?
107.
What do you mean
he's 107, but hear me out. Every Mills and Boone cover, those it's the panty droppers, the girl panty dropper books.
No.
He was on the cover of every single Mills and Boone. So you grow up and it's like his hand crept stealthily up her silken thigh. She shuddered with anticipation, like that. Those her really trashing
thigh.
Oh yeah, it's like girls porn. But essentially it's like those romance novels, and he was painted on the cover of all of them.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that he probably has. What's that song from the famous country singer where it's "I'm not as good as I once was,
but I'm as good once as I ever was."
Yeah, that's his whole life.
Fabio's good. Fabio's good.
Snippy quotes: if you could have anyone on as a guest on here, who would it be and why? I'd say someone interesting like an Undertaker, maybe Keanu Reeves. Who would be your preferred guest? Like your number one pick ever? Who do you want on the show?
I'd like the king, my king,
the king of England.
Yeah,
okay.
The king of Australia. Fine, England can
have him.
King
of
too.
Commonwealth.
He's the king of Australia.
Okay, king of Australia.
I'd like him.
Mm-hmm.
I would like, if it's MMA, I'd like Conor McGregor.
I would say Conor McGregor. Yes.
If it's anyone to interview.
Well, yeah.
From any point in time.
Oh.
I'd like Trump or Putin.
Well, they're both
if
in
it's
this
political.
Time still,
yeah, it's
so
I'm talking about this time.
Okay.
Or if it's like an actor or that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Keanu Reeves.
Okay, so you want Keanu? You would say like number one pick Is Keanu Reeves?
Number one pick would be well,
the
I don't
king,
want to end
right?
up the king. I don't want to end up like Tucker Carlson did with Putin, where he
Okay.
was kind of just Putin's bitch for the entire thing. I'd like to remind everyone every time we use bad language, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and free MMA. We swear because we care.
Fuck yeah.
Um,
Well, I can give you my favorite guest.
okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ike Catcher. Welcome to the show, man.
Is Ike on here?
Oh, yes, he's right there.
I'm
See?
just checking.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
how
hear you.
you
How's
doing?
it going?
You hear me well? You hear me good?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah,
You
I'm
look
good.
good.
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. Thank you for asking.
We had the bird flu for like a month. Alexis nearly died. It was a whole thing.
That thing that was been going around, huh?
Yeah.
It was great. We didn't know it was a thing. We caught it. My uncle was in the hospital because he got like bit by a raccoon. So he's got some obscure disease. We go to visit him and we caught bird flu and Alexis nearly died. So it's been fun.
Oh my God, man! I caught something too that was pretty strong. I'm not sure it was the bird flu, but probably,
Yeah,
But
it's been going on.
I'm glad she's doing better, and it's been a tough start to the year.
It's been,
Yeah, no, for sure it has been.
Yeah.
You look like you were coming from somewhere fun, man. Where are you off
As we
to?
always do.
Sorry?
So this is what happened. You hear me?
Yep.
You hear me? Yeah. So this is what happened. I produce kung fu shows. So right now I'm at the Saks Fifth Avenue, and
Nice.
I was supposed to. I was supposed to have the schedule a little different, and they moved things around, so I had to be a little bit earlier. Because yesterday I confirmed for 12 with you guys. So right now, we're gonna get ready to do a lion dance. So basically, me and my performers, we're all getting ready. We're gonna bless this beautiful mall. We're gonna go through with the lions, and yeah. So this is basically what I'm getting ready for. But still taking a little time out to have an interview with you guys because I love you guys. Love being on
I
your show.
appreciate that.
And I remember last time we had a really good interview, so I'm glad to be back live with y'all.
I'm loving that. Now, where are you at? Can people come check this out?
This is in OC, Saks Fifth Avenue, OC. The exact location is what's the exact location? Hold on one second, I'll tell you right now.
I love that.
Yeah, good old Orange County.
I like that. Well, if you guys want to find Ike in the wild, head out there. That is really, really cool. And make sure you're following his social media. He's one of my favorite people to follow. He comes up with the coolest workouts and the most random stuff in people.
He's also just impressive to see.
It's 333 Bristol Avenue, Costa Mesa. So if you're around, you want to check it out, you want to check out some lions, just come through, Yeah.
You're in, that means you're in Fashion Island. So go check him out. He's at Fashion Island, Saks Fifth Avenue. I love that. Now, how did you get into doing this? What is going, like, how did this happen?
Well, I'm a Kung Fu apprentice, and I'm studying under my Sifu, and he has a Kung Fu school, and with that we do the traditional lion dance, like, these are the lion pants, actually, and this is the red top I'll be wearing, and part of the Kung Fu is that you do the lion dance. If you have ever seen the lions, like, they're like kind of like a modern puppetry, and two people go in there, and you play with the drum, and it's supposed to bring good luck for the Lunar New Year. So since I've been studying under my my master, that's part of the curriculum. Apart from the kung fu and the fight training, every Lunar New Year you kind of you go around and you spread the blessings to the people.
I love that.
That is really cool.
For those that don't know, Ike is 6'9", so that is a big ass lion.
Yes, that's definitely probably the biggest lion out there.
That is massive. So everyone, you can follow him. Make sure you're following Ike Catcher. Ike, I love that. It was the most unexpected place to find you doing that. I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Always some surprises with Ike. Always some good surprises.
Oh yeah.
We love that. Yeah. Speaking of training and fighting, do you have anything on the horizon? Do you have another match coming up soon?
He's in the TV show we have coming out this year.
I mean, definitely. Like, I'm still fighting a little bit with the recovery of my knee from my last fight. So
Yeah.
I had a few offers come up, but You know, like I gotta put my health first, and I got a lot of stuff going on for myself. So I also when I go back in there, I want to be able to perform at my 100% and not with a half injured knee jeopardizing my health. So at this point, I'm still on a recovery journey. I've been keeping my fight training up. Like I'm still wrestling. I'm still working my jiu-jitsu. I'm still, keeping my shape, top shape. But I'm still healing. I would
How
give it maybe like a couple more months, and as soon as that comes back together, we right back in there, and we're gonna go back into that ring.
how
That'd be
is
great.
your knee doing? I know that was not a good injury. That's not a good place to injure.
Right. Well, it's good enough for me to do like weight training and not to it doesn't incapacitate me too much in like daily routine, but I still really notice it if I do like any jerky movements or for example like wrestling or somebody snatch my leg, definitely makes it be like in pain, So even
Yeah,
though it's good for normal function, it's not ready to be under the stress of a fight situation, Or get
that
kicked,
makes sense.
you're gonna get a low kick, and it's not ready to take no low kicks yet.
That's fair. You just talked about still performing with your wrestling and your jiu-jitsu. I gotta tell you right now, having met you, I would fucking hate to grapple with you. That just
Uh,
sounds like an absolute nightmare. I don't care if it's your day one or your day 10,000. Just dealing with someone who's 6'9", as strong as you are, I would not want to be in your guard. I wouldn't want to have you in full mount. I wouldn't want to try and stuff one of your takedowns. None of it. I wouldn't want to deal with
Definitely,
it in any way.
and I'll tell you because I've did all the strength and conditioning from for all these years, and it doesn't mean much if you don't have no wrestling technique. But I've been training with my coach Kenny Johnson, legend, trained many UFC fighters. It's like a head coach over there, at Black House. I've been wrestling with him for like the last 4 or 5 years, and now that I got the technique. It's like I have not yet wrestled with a man with more strength, physical strength that I have.
Oh yeah.
But there's technically amazing guys with wrestling. So wrestling is, strength is one thing, but it's not the number one criteria. It's more fluidity. Like good wrestlers, they set you up, they're very fluid, and it's more like a chess game. But if you have a lot of strength, you can, cancel a lot of situations that other people couldn't because they don't have that strength. So I
Right.
like to think of the strength as a good joker, like if somebody like hits you in a bad situation and then you have this uncalled strength, it's surprising. People don't expect the person to be that strong, but through all the working out, I've attained this, the really conditioned body. So I always have that strength ability to break out of a bad situation.
That's exactly what I'm
I
talking
like
about,
that.
man. You
Yeah.
just mentioned fluidity, and I agree with you. Wrestling requires a lot of fluid motion. Any kind of martial arts does, but you started out, I think you started mainly doing the bodybuilding. Did you ever find difficulty going from weightlifting, which is in my brain, it's a little bit more strict in its motions. You don't want to be as fluid, you don't want to be as loose, and then transition from that into the martial arts world where that's kind of a requirement.
Right, definitely. So what helped me before that is because I also do a lot of functional fitness and gymnastics and the stuff on the bars. So even though I was a bodybuilder, I was already very functional because I was at the background in martial arts. But it definitely is different in that manner. But you have to just kind of like reprogram your body to more to those snatch movements and more like I think the lower all the lower back muscles and stuff. Even though if you're bodybuilding you don't train those micro muscles that the wrestling really will build. So, like, both of that together is going to really make you a very strong man. If you're wrestling and you're weightlifting, and
Yeah.
remind you, a lot of wrestlers like this part of wrestling are conditioning themselves by weightlifting. So that's why wrestlers are such tough opponents because it's conditioning you to such a strong man and weapon. Like you can also see that a lot of good wrestlers can really neutralize a lot of jiu-jitsu guys just because their
Yes.
wrestling is so good.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
they can.
It's the reason everyone ran when Dan
hmm
Henderson come up.
Yeah, and
I mean,
even
look
now,
at John Jones.
Yeah.
John Jones, best fighter in the world, and then his main style was wrestling. It's
Yeah.
just It's just it's a great stock. If you can
Wrestlers
learn
do
it.
tend to dominate a lot in the mixed martial arts world. It's just such a versatile skill to have, and it translates well into all other aspects for the combat sports. Speaking of
That is true, and but I've also watched like a flying knee to the head can take someone out. It's just not possible with someone like Ike because they're not getting that
the
high.
jump really fucking high.
That's not happening.
No one has a 7-foot vertical. I think I don't know. It's a little bit surprising to me. But you know what? It's funny. We actually have a couple people commenting that we should spar, and I would love to spar with you. By the way, when your knee gets back to everything to where we could throw kicks.
Oh, definitely, definitely, we'll do that.
They just want to watch you beat Bear up.
It'd be entertaining to see me get ragdolled a little bit, like the whole smashing Loki into the floor.
We're gonna have a good time. Me and Bear, we already like good brothers, so it's just gonna be like a friendly brawl, you know. It's gonna be fun though.
I love friendly brawls.
I gotta tell you guys, if you get a chance, watch. If they stream, the conversations that Ike and Bear have are absolutely hysterical. I was watching them work out, and just while they're chatting with each other while it's going on, it is the funniest thing I have heard. I still think they should get a podcast. Like, it's just what they come up with is really funny.
Yeah, there's always something to go on in the near future. And as we diverse a little bit away from talking about fighting, do you have something in the works? Like, do you think like the idea of podcasting? Do you want to pursue more into the acting realm? You're doing multiple things right now, not just for bodybuilding or competition, but you're also a well-rounded person in acting and performance.
Right. Well, the acting realm has been opening very much for me. Also, I have a movie coming out called Muscle Beach that I've produced, and where I'm the main character. That's a pretty big project, a full feature movie that's going to come out. And I'm thinking going to try to submit it to Sundance Movie Festival this year. And definitely the acting is a huge avenue, and it's just the show business. It's all connected, you know. Like like last time I think I told you, like I had a big role in the MMA movie right before my MMA fight, so it's all kind of like, you know, that point of singularity where you're like, okay, even though, you know, fighting is for real and acting is like, you know, not for real, trying to make it real, but it's not real. It's both entertainment, you know. Both of those things is entertainment and show business. And I feel like fighting teaches you a lot about whatever you need to be an action star, right? Like, you know, like even most of those actors, you know, talk about Keanu Reeves or whoever we're talking about, they got to take martial arts classes to look good on screen, you know. So one doesn't go with the other, you know. You have to have a martial prowess to look good on screen in an action movie or whatever you do, you know. So it goes hand in hand, you know. For me,
that makes
fighting
sense.
to acting goes hand in hand.
100%. And you're one of very few people who actually understand. I think you and Conor McGregor are the only two people that understand that sports entertainment is still entertainment. You're still entertaining people. I love that, because that's something, you know, we're talking with the US Olympic team about, and I'm trying to explain to them, no, you have to entertain people. It's not just about being a good fighter.
Right. You gotta be right. It gotta be digestible, not super technical. Like, you know, Klitschko used to be one of those guys when he was box, he would just win, but it would be so boring because he just jab, and there's no, you know, it's a boring fight to watch. You know, it's a good technical fight, but it's a boring fight to watch.
But that's really it. You have to be entertaining to people. But I want to talk a little about your feature length you just told us.
I know.
Can you give us any information about it?
That's amazing. Congratulations, by the way.
The Muscle Beach movie, not really, because it's still like in the editing process. But you know, I don't know if we're gonna. I'll come back on the show next time. But definitely it's gonna be more crystallized. Also, I gotta get ready now, so I got like 5 more minutes. If you guys want to, like, you know,
Get through the questions. We'll rush it. We'll rush through the 5. Let's do like hot round questions.
Okay. Well, one of the things that you actually mentioned that I want to talk about is you're a musician on top of all of this. What instrument do you play, man?
I've been rapping since like before I came to America. You know, I'm Austrian, so one of my first songs was "Come With Me Mit," and it always been one of my passions that I've pursued, and I'm still doing it, you know. So if you want to look up my music, it's the same as my name, Ike Catcher, and Biggest Man on the Bars, and it's a lot of it's most of it is hip hop rap, but it's
Mhm.
mostly very positive, and it's about working out and you know, like good topics, good positive music. I have a
I
lot of
love
Christian music too. I have a lot of Christian music too, Jesus music. So it's a whole range of spectrum of like a universe if you want to tune into it, you know.
I love that. I'm listening
I
to
love
that
it.
actually.
Well, that sounds like he's making like really positive workout music. That is like
Everything
Yeah,
it's
Ike
so
does is
niche and so
positive.
perfect. I love that.
I don't think there's a single thing Ike does in his life that isn't positive.
That's why he has such a good life. Okay,
yeah, it's true. That's true.
if you could be remembered for one thing, because you are incredibly multi-talented. I mean, people talk about triple threats. You are more than that. Like you are
Yeah.
so good at so many things. If you have one thing you want to be remembered for, what is it?
I think being a kind man, being a good person. You know, if anything, it's like people remember me. It's like, you know, that guy was a good man, with a good heart, helped a lot of people. But like, let's say from the physical accomplishment, I would probably think my physique, my body. You know, like the height, the stature, and just being like one of the smallest men on the planet. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's damn sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I
know,
got to
I know.
tell you, I got to tell you, we had our production meeting, and we were talking about, you know, we've got him in this TV show upcoming, and we're also putting him. He's doing a cameo in a show called Receiver of Many that we're doing for HBO and BBC, and he's playing a Greek god. And the women in our production meeting wouldn't put his photo down, and it actually got to the point. I'm like, y'all are being creepy. I need you to stop. Like, this is not cool. Like it's the physique you have down. Like that was you
Yeah.
definitely got that one.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I look at bears used to being kind of, you know, fighters are usually smaller guys. They're 5'7", 5'8" is about the average for these fighters. So at 6'1", bear's like the big guy. And then you get him next to Ike and he's like looking up like, oh shit.
It's not even fucking close. But hey, Ike, is there anything you'd like to tell the audience before you have to hop off?
Just you know, do the good that you can. You know, be positive, believe in yourself, work hard on yourself. Don't focus too much on the things that you can't influence, and just focus on the things you can control, and try to be a little bit better every day, because I think that's what the world needs. And self improvement, being a good light unto others, is like you know, the most beautiful thing you can do, and that's the way to live a blessed life. You know, that's the main message that I want to portray with my life, and also extend to others. You know.
I love
I
that.
like that.
Everyone, of
You're an
course, please
amazing man.
remember to follow Ike Catcher. I believe it's Ike Catcher on all platforms, correct?
Yes, yeah, that is.
Make sure you are following
Absolutely.
him. And if you are anywhere near Fashion Island, go out, take photos, send me pictures because I will put that on
Okay.
social media.
Okay. All right, guys.
All
I gotta get changed now. We gotta, you know, bring that good luck in. Okay.
right,
It was
you
a
go do
pleasure to
that.
talk
Break
to
a
you.
Yes,
leg.
yes. You have a good time.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining
Okay.
us.
Have a good day. Okay. Bye bye.
If you guys are out at Fashion Island, go have a look. I love that.
Yes. What's the
I love that
numbers
he
he kept
does
throwing
that.
up there? 6'5" something for the 506 for the show that he's doing. The Saks Fifth Avenue. Saks Fifth. That's what it is. It wasn't 6, it was Saks.
You don't know what sex.
Well, I know what Saks Fifth is in my head. Like I've heard it over and over again, but I
You've
don't
bot me
know what it
clothes from
stands
there.
for. Is it? It's a. So it's a
It's like
brand. It's a-
Nordstrom. You
I'll take
bought
a
me
Nordstrom,
clothes
okay.
from there.
I took it as a location, honestly. I took it as like, oh, this is a place people can go, Saks Fifth Avenue, like a street, you know. Why call it Avenue then?
Because that's what originally came from in New York. Okay.
All right.
So I got to tell you guys, if you're going to follow someone's career, Ike is a person to follow.
Yeah.
He is going to do well in the entertainment industry. He's going to do very, very well.
Oh yeah, and if he wasn't already, here's the part of success is what you do with what you have, and then the other part I think is what you already have available to you. And what I mean that is, Ike was already this massive guy. He was already going to be a huge physically person, huge standing.
Huge physical presence.
Yes. So he had a choice of, I can do all these different things, but with my stature, I can do something that's a little bit more in the entertainment world and it's inspirational to people. And of course, he grew up watching Arnold. So his inspiration was like, I want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I got this big body. I'll start weightlifting because he grew up really skinny, tall, but thin. And he had to build himself up. So he was able to parlay that. That's his use what you have available to you to get into entertainment and start fighting and start doing movies, obviously in TV shows.
Well, that's the thing that people
and he's probably going to get sought after for it too.
Oh, absolutely. Like there is a reason when we saw him, we went after him.
Mm-hmm.
There is a reason. You know, we want him, and there's a reason I want him in shows. He's a very marketable, very bankable man. But on top of that, he's a very nice man. I know your interest isn't in him being bankable. That's mine.
No, I like that he's a good dude.
Yeah, but you and he have very aligned morals and objectives.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for you two to be like, yeah, let's go have lunch and chat. I have to tell you, I'm going to like secretly record them next time we have lunch. Bear and Ike literally just sit there talking about how to help other people and cracking jokes. It is the sweetest and funniest thing you've ever seen. Yeah, but you're not on camera. Like you guys aren't intentionally being funny. You're just joking at each other.
Because it comes naturally. You know, it's very much an easy.
I think Bear's going to leave me for Ike.
No, I would not leave you for Ike.
That's because you'd be the woman in the relationship.
But Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. But I do find that people like him make the world better.
Yes.
And there are people you meet that you can tell will succeed. They're people with potential. You have a great deal of potential.
Yeah.
Ike has a great deal of potential.
Well, thank you.
And what matters is Ike is doing something with that potential. Yes. Potential, and I'm going to tell you all this, potential only matters as far as you can do something with it. I did a great TED talk. Don't look at it. I look terrible in it.
You definitely need to like get back in and do another TED talk.
I was super pregnant.
And they need to put you on the fucking stage.
Was during the pandemic.
I don't care what it was during. They could have put you on the stage, recorded it, and then sent it off to an audience.
I'm really glad they didn't. I was super pregnant.
Oh, you deserve a recount on that one.
Hey, I liked my TED talk. It was a good subject.
No, that was rigged. I'm sorry. It was you did great. The way they had it set up, you need to get a redo.
Fine. My whole TED talk is called "Get Off the Floor."
I love that.
And essentially, what it is you're going to fail. You're going to screw up. You are going to fail a lot. It's how you get off the floor and how you function when you fail that matters, because everyone fails. My uncle is one of my favorite examples of this. He ran free presses. He ran business after business after business. And now he and my aunt run an incredibly successful business. They have an incredibly successful business, but they worked their butt off and they failed their way to the top. And that's how it works.
Yeah.
Bear lost like 97 fights before he won one.
It was a lot, but it wasn't 97. It was definitely not 97. But you know, my coach Joe even talks about, like, let's talk about fighters who have stage anxiety and poor performances in the octagon. He had a guy who
if you have erectile dysfunction, it is fixable.
He had a guy who was like, I don't know, he was single digit wins and like in double digit losses more than 20. Like he put himself through the ringer time and time again, and Joe got him to a point where he was able to function and be successful in the cage. And so it really is all about getting up off the floor, continuing to push and try again.
In MMA, that's literal.
You have to literally do that. Yes, you cannot stay on the floor. They'll eventually kick you out of the octagon.
When you look at success, when you look at people like Ike, who put 100% into everything they do, when you look at people like Bear, who push for what they want. When you look at people that want to succeed, that's what matters.
Yes.
And the reality is you have to have a goal. Your goal can be money. It can be fame. It can be whatever, but you have to have a goal. And if you're not working towards that goal, you're getting nowhere.
Of course.
And you are going to fail 100 times before you get to the end point. But the difference between you and somebody that succeeds is the ability to fail. Failing is a skill that people don't have. Failing with grace is an even bigger skill that people don't have. People cannot admit they're wrong and they cannot fail. That's two things, two huge red flags in people. So if they have trouble with those two things, don't deal with them.
Yeah, don't sleep with that person.
No.
Don't.
If they can't be wrong,
that's the crazy you don't want to get involved with.
Well, you know what they say, grippy socks.
No, I don't know what they say when they say grippy socks.
I'm not repeating the rest of that. It rhymes with socks. And it's girls with grippy socks usually have a grippy.
Why does socks have anything to do with
Because
that?
that's what they put on you in a mental hospital.
Dude,
Crazy girls are good in bed.
That's funny. I was thinking of yoga socks.
Nope, grippy socks, hospital socks. Grippy socks, grippy.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Shout out to my EP David Lyons. That's where I heard that because he likes crazy.
David Lyons, another good guy. Another motivational story there as well for getting up off the floor and continuing to push and do the right thing.
Everyone
who's successful has failed. There's not a single person who's been successful the whole way.
You fail consistently. If you look at Elon Musk, if you look at Jeff Bezos, their entire life is a story of failure. Jeff
look
Bezos
at the Cybertruck.
Well, Jeff Bezos is a failed actor.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
Wow. Okay.
Elon Musk is failed at 100 things. The reality is, it's not about how you succeed. Success is easy. It's about how you fail. And people like Ike who are thin and go, no, I want to be different, and then put 100% of the work in.
And 100 pounds of muscle on.
Mm-hmm. They are the people that change the world. They are the ones that make a difference.
Yeah, I think people who participate in martial arts or weightlifting, who do physical sports, are going to be better able to handle failure than anyone who doesn't, which is why I think sports is so important for kids, because you can't win every time in sports. You will lose at some point, and you'll be forced to deal with that loss and get better. So if you can get your kids into some kind of sports now, it is essential. They need to lose and grow from that loss if you want them to be successful humans.
I'm pouring tea if you see my face up into the camera.
It's okay. No. You're welcome to drink your bad tea.
What's his face is right.
I'm now what's his face? I insulted your tea?
Yes.
Okay.
What's his face is right. If you don't have the ability to fail, you're screwed. If you look at Blake Lively, she is the best example of people that don't have the ability to fail.
Yeah, no kidding. Her, Meghan Markle, there's quite a few people who I guess they kind of successed their way to an extent, but now it's coming out really poorly on them.
No, they both married well.
That's kind of what I meant.
The reality is Blake Lively was born into a wealthy family that were already successful in entertainment, and it's nepotism.
The Lively's
it's not. Yes, her family is successful actors, but I'm going to say this: if Kimberly, if my daughter wanted to be in entertainment, she's in entertainment. It sucks, but it's the reality.
Oh, nepotism at its finest.
But growing up on set, you actually learn how to function.
Right. So it's not like she's just getting in there and knows nothing. She's getting in there able to function with the job. Pretty
much. But the reality is you can only buy your way so far. Hollywood's tried to make 1 million people happen. It didn't happen. Fetch didn't happen. Then they've made 1 million people they didn't want to get famous. By the way, Diddy was somebody that Hollywood was not backing. Well, he got famous despite Hollywood not wanting him.
I think as well a lot of
that period people hated it.
I think a lot of people as well. They maybe that's why they booked him anyways, because it was against the norm. But I think money and power really changes your perception on how to be a human. It really does. Because I think a good story is you look at Conor McGregor. He was always kind of like full of himself. I'm the top dog. I'm the number one dude. I'm the best fighter. And you have to have that thought. But and I hate to say, I didn't think this was the case for a long time, but I think when all the money kind of hit him and all the fame kind of hit him, it really did bring out his worst qualities as a person. And I think the same thing, like
I just dropped my microphone.
Oh, I got it for you.
I lost my microphone. The world has ended.
No,
you can't hear my voice. The world has ended.
But when you look at people like P. Diddy, he was probably already that human, and then he got famous and got wealthy, and now he's able to cover it up, and people need him for things, so they'll cover for him.
It's looking for that next high. Something you said with your corn addiction.
Yes.
Is you're always looking for that next taboo.
And that's why I try and encourage everyone to stay away from it. You never want to get hooked on anything like that. So if you are scrolling OnlyFans consistently, you're scrolling the hub consistently, you're paying money for that stuff, it is time for a change, because you are altering your state of mind, and it is only going to progressively get more dramatic what you look for. And that leads people down horrible paths in life. Get therapy. I'm in therapy for it. It's important that people know that that's okay to do, that you're able to help yourself.
I'm in therapy, but it's not for corn addiction.
No, it is not.
I'm in therapy because,
you're too beautiful and you need to learn how to deal with people who are angry at you.
I was massively parentified. What is it? I was massively parentified, and then my mom ran away from the country with me, and I have a messed up relationship with my mom and dad.
But you look beautiful.
My daddy
red.
issues have daddy issues.
You look beautiful in red, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm in therapy because my daddy issues have daddy issues.
And you what is it? Your abandonment issues
And
have abandonment
and I have
issues.
issues committing to my commitment issues.
That could work out for you.
I have issues committing to my commitment issues. Well, that seems to be the way our relationship goes. I dump you at least once a week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's a consistent factor in our life.
But
you know what? I stay anyways. We work through it.
I'd like to tell everyone that is not a viable way to live. If you're telling somebody you want out of a relationship and they don't go away, run.
Red flag.
Yeah. Where's the red flag guy?
Where's the red flag
I
guy?
love my red flag guy. You find him on TikTok and YouTube. He runs around the park with red and green flags. We need the red flag guy. Kimberly, get the red flag guy on the show.
Yes, that'd be a good show, actually. But you know what? What about the situation of Blake? We brought up Blake Lively, so I'm curious. How's it going with her and the Baldoni thing?
Baldoni.
Did I not say that?
You said Baldoni.
Oh. Baldoni with a B.
Baldoni. Actually, we are reaching out to
Baldoni. He's a friend.
We're reaching out to Wayfair, Baldoni's company, to see if they want to partner with us on a project because he's lost a ton of money. And frankly, I think he's an excellent actor and he'd be great for Hades in the show we're doing.
Okay.
But cutting all of that out, I'm really kind of appalled by how she's handled this. Blake Lively, behind the scenes, is a complete asshole. For those that don't know,
that's coming out now. That's for
Taylor
sure.
Swift isn't. So I'm not sure how she acted with Taylor Swift to get the whole BFF thing. Taylor Swift is really backing off. So you guys know, this isn't off the record. No, it's an on the record. Taylor Swift was at the lead of the Me Too movement, the legitimate Me Too movement. She sued a DJ for assaulting her, and he did, but she sued him for $1.
I thought it was Kesha who led that.
No. She was different. That was a Dr. Luke thing. I'll get that.
Okay.
She came after. But so Taylor Swift, not a lot of people know this, sued this DJ for $1. She won, but she only sued for $1.
Why?
Because she wanted him fired. She wanted this recognized. She didn't care about the money, and she's in a financial position. She didn't need the money, but he assaulted her.
Yeah.
So now, Taylor Swift is a sad story anyway. She was hardcore stage managed by her parents, hardcore pushed by her parents from a very, very young age.
Yes.
And the country music to pop star pipeline is one of the easier ones to follow, but she was incredibly talented anyway. She, has leaned into kind of the dorky girl persona, a lot like Avril Lavigne. She's done her whole thing, but she has worked hard. She's a very, very hardworking woman and a very talented woman.
Yeah.
So to have somebody like Blake Lively talk about her like she's an object, she's one of her dragons, use her as a threat to somebody that has really tried to keep a squeaky clean image, that's a problem.
Wait, that's what she's saying about Taylor Swift?
She went to so Ryan Reynolds went to WME and basically said, Taylor Swift, Blake Lively and myself will leave if you don't get rid of Baldoni. Then Lively went to Baldoni and said, if you don't do what I want, basically threaten him with Taylor Swift.
What is WME?
William Morris Endeavor. It's an agency.
Oh, they got him dropped from his agent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway, so the reality is, by the way, if you need an agent out there, here's the advice I give everyone. Your agency matters. What matters more is your agent. You want the smallest agent at the biggest agency, the guy that just came out of the mailroom. Because if he needs you to eat, you will work. If your guy also has Ryan Reynolds, he's not going to put the time or effort into you.
No, absolutely
You're
not.
Nothing.
No, they're focused on Ryan Reynolds, not you.
So, but that's essentially what happened here. WME was focused on Taylor Swift, on Ryan Reynolds. Nobody gives a shit about Blake Lively except for the fact that she's married to
Ryan Reynolds.
There you go.
I thought she was a famous singer at some point, right?
No, she wasn't. She was an actress that was in a show called Gossip Girl. And the lead in Gossip Girl, Leslie, is a lovely woman. She was horrible to her. Awful to the lead in Gossip Girl. She was mean to the other people in Gossip Girl. She constantly made jokes about the lead in Gossip Girl being born in jail. She was, by the way.
I don't know how she got on with functioning in that set. Why didn't they just drop her? You're
she
a
was
problem.
under contract and she was nobody at that point. Now, she was sexually harassed on set, but if she wants to save her career, here's what she does. She turns around because she was sexually harassed and did get the makeup artist fired. She goes
from Baldoni's thing?
No, from Gossip Girl. What she does is she comes out and this Blake Lively, here is how you save your
Here's
career.
how you fix your
so
career.
You guys know my specialty. If you get caught with a hooker, I'm who they call. If you do something terrible, I'm who they call to save your reputation. I don't do it for you. I give them the plan. Then your publicist does it.
Right.
And here's the trick. Here's the magic trick. If she wants to save her career from this point on, she needs to step up, apologize, say that she read it wrong. I was completely wrong. I thought he was coming at me. Looking at this retrospectively, I read it wrong. I was a child entertainer. I was exposed to things I shouldn't have been. It's clearly made me hypersensitive to this. I want to apologize to Baldoni. I want to apologize to everyone that got hurt in this. I think I think I was wrong.
Is that even possible at this point, though? Like,
Yes.
is anyone going to care to listen to that?
If she said that and she made it this happened because of this traumatic childhood I had in Hollywood, people would believe it. It's not about forgiving her. It's about asking for forgiveness. One of the best tickets I ever saw was a friend of mine, Cindy Honig, saved Hugh Grant's career after he got caught with Divine Brown. He was dating Elizabeth Hurley, one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Right.
And he got caught with Divine Brown in the car. And so now he's caught with this hooker. And so Cindy put him on every channel apologizing.
Yep, he went and apologized. He made
It
jokes
was his
about
apology tour.
The apology tour.
Yep, and it saved his career. She also saved Pee Wee Herman, and she put him on stage. And Philip was talking to us about that too. For another publicist friend of ours who turned around, he's like, put him on stage and went, "Well, has anyone heard any good jokes lately?" After he got caught in adult theater. So the reality is, if you own something, you can fix it. In her case, you need a good reason to accuse sexual harassment that didn't happen.
Right.
If you say I'm sensitive or I'm broken because of my own history in Hollywood, given the ditties and all of this stuff that we've seen and the fact that she has been embroiled in real sexual harassment before.
Okay.
And that's what's so sad about this is she was actually sexually harassed before. It was a whole thing.
Right.
The guy admitted to it, but people will look back now and question it.
And you know what? That could probably buy her some sympathy. I think that would work.
If she
But is she going
apologized,
to do it?
no. If she apologized, the problem she has is she believes her career and her reputation and her clout is equal to that of her husband and her friend Taylor Swift.
Because
she
she's
thinks by
associated with her and married to him.
By aligning herself with them, yes, she's brought up brand value, but it's been half a decade since she's made a movie. The most successful one she ever made was Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah.
And shout out, America Ferrara couldn't get on with her, and America Ferrara is the easiest person in the world to deal with. The issue she has is if she doesn't come forward, take responsibility and apologize, she's not going to be forgiven. Now, she can take the royal stance, which is never complain, never explain.
Well, she did a
But it
bunch
will
of complaining.
fail. Yeah, but that's it. She needs to shut up and go away and come back later, or she needs to say it was her fault.
Well, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, please encourage yourself or your wife to own up to her mistakes and be honest with her people.
Don't be honest. No, honesty is the worst because they were trying to smuggle the film out from under this dude. Don't be honest.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Lie your asses
Lie
off.
your asses
Keep
off.
lying. Keep lying.
Lie differently.
Lie differently.
I look at it this way. I charge $17.50 an hour for this advice. So this conversation I just gave you is worth almost $2,000. Listen to it on playback. And listen to my TED Talk, Blake. That'll help you.
And you guys can always listen to these shows on playback, but for now, it is time. So when she's finished drinking her tea.
Thank you for joining us on Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Summer Helene. We're on with my co-host, the baddest bear in the cage, Bear Fiorda. He really likes that intro. We will see you guys next week. And by the way, if you are at Fashion Island, go get me a photo of Ike Catcher. I want to see this. I want to see the 7-foot-tall lion. This was Behind the Scenes. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with the Baroness and Bear Fiorda. Only on Talk 4 Media.